Welcome to Multifamily on Zoom this afternoon. We have a great guest speaker with us, but before we dive into that, let me say thank you because we were not able to have Multifamily on Zoom for the past 2 weeks. As you know, we are all at Ultimate Partnering, and secondly, we were having the grand reopening of the Loma RV Resort Park and Campground last weekend. So I just got home this week. It was fantastic, but let me tell you, very exhausting as well. From Dallas to California and then in the mountain, and then it was a nonstop. And here I am again. This afternoon, we have with us Julio Gonzalez. I met Julio about 2 years ago. 2024, I met you in Dallas, and then we're able to reconnect again this year in Utah. And I went back to Ultimate Partnering. Who was there? Julio, all over again. All right, Julio, welcome to Multifamily on Zoom. I would like you to go ahead, give us a brief um bio of yourself, and then we dive right in because this is gonna be a very short meeting today.
Yes, Masus. Again, before anything, I'd like to thank God for the opportunity. Like you said, to my wife and I, Francis, got to meet you at those conferences that you mentioned, and so we're grateful to God for that opportunity. And we humbly just want to say thank you for the opportunity just to come and have a conversation with you on your platform. So thank you very much, ma'am. My wife Francis and I, we are insurance brokers. Um, uh, that have been in the industry for over 15 years. My wife and I, and we have also a team that we have that actually have different sections of the insurance that we provide. So we do auto and personal. My wife does everything under commercial, and then I lead our multifamily department from that standpoint. Uh, my wife and I have been married 24 years. We have 3 kids, 4 grandkids, and I'm grateful to God that she still allows me to hold her hand and go on dates with me. So I'm grateful to God for that. So that's where I'm at, Miss Suze, high level.
Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, your wife is beautiful. You're correct. I met your wife, and I think when I went to Utah, she's the person I recognize. I'm like, oh yeah, I met you before when Akash tried to introduce us. And by the way, Akash has been here as well in the past. All right. Julio, what are the biggest changes you've seen in the commercial insurance market over the past 12 to 24 months?
Yeah. So I actually looked at the data for this. So from 2021 to 2024, I actually have it here. There was, I mean, from 2021 to 2025, there was what they consider 116 natural disasters across the United States. Um, this was over close to over, I think, 100, and correct me here, but what I read was over $100 billion worth of claims that was done. That with so the natural disasters, inflation went up as well. The cost of material went up. So this unfortunately caused a lot of the providers and with the claims to withdraw from certain regions of the country and also to raise their premium because there was too much risk that was being done to them. So they pushed a lot of they hired up the premiums, lowered the coverages, and put a lot of the risk on the operators. So that was from 2021 to 2025. What I've seen in the past, I'll say since February of this year, is that the market has actually starting to soften up from the standpoint because now there's more stability and there's less natural disasters than there was within the last year. The data that I shared. So that has caused more the premiums again to reduce because now there's more providers that are willing, the ones that left, to go back into the market to have more appetite, which causes more competition from that standpoint. So from February to now, I've actually been able to save my current clients and also new clients around 15 to 20% reduction on their multifamily coverages from that standpoint. So that's what I've been seeing in the market, Miss Susie, Miss Suze.
All right. So what type of commercial real estate, what asset class do you guys cover?
Yeah, thank God we've had the opportunity to cover Class A, Class B, and Class C. So we cover all three of them from that standpoint.
You guys do only multifamily? You don't do medical offices, RV
Yeah,
park, storage,
yeah, yes, ma'am. We do LROs. We do uh, uh, like you're saying, commercial properties like plazas. Um, yeah, from
retail?
that
Yeah.
standpoint, yes, ma'am. So we do a wide range of this. I just work on the multifamily aspect of it. But again, if we have those opportunities, my wife and the team will work on those other ones. So yes. So we have a wide range of clients within different verticals from that standpoint, ma'am.
Okay. By the way, type the name of your company and the phone number in the chat if you don't mind.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, that way people will get when they see, even the people who don't watch it today, who are not here today, when they watch it, they can have that. If they need you, they can get a hold of you.
Thank you, Miss.
What?
Thank you, Miss.
Yes, you're welcome. What information should an investor have ready before contacting an insurance broker?
Oh, definitely. I would definitely say the more information you have, the better. The information that would be very beneficial are if you're going through a Freddie or Fannie, provide the lender's requirement. That's very critical. If you're doing a new purchase, obviously, right? Or even if you're just doing a renewal and you have a Freddie and Fannie loan, provide provide the loan requirements. A statement of value of the property is very critical as well, as far as um, uh, identifying the roof age, HVAC, the plumbing. That's very critical. So that type of information. I can't express this more than enough. This next one is loss runs. Loss runs is very, very critical. The loss run report is critical because it provides a claim history within the last 5 years of what's been done on that property. So that's very critical for underwriters to see. And if you provide that to, uh, when my clients provide that to me, it allows me now to start collecting the data to help talk to the underwriters from that standpoint. And also if they have property management teams, if they can introduce me to have those type of conversations, because my objective as the insurance broker is to create not a story, but provide facts in the best light to the underwriters to help my operators and my clients with the best coverage for their properties from that standpoint. So those are the three critical components: lender's requirements, if you have one, a statement of value, and loss run reports. Very, very critical.
Thank you for that. Also, how important are property inspection, maintenance records, and safety programs in today's insurance environment?
That's a good question. That definitely will definitely help you if you have a strong relationship with your property management team, because now they're looking at it not just from a claim loss, but insurance providers are looking at it from an operational standpoint. So they're seeing that if you have operational proficiency in that, then they'll look at you as an operator that they can trust. And so there's less risk in there if you provide more information from that standpoint. So that's very, very, very critical as far as having conversations with your property management team. Hey, what upgrades have we done? Maybe we've done it on the plumbing, on the electrical, whatever may be the case. That's very, very critical data to collect in order to provide that to the insurance provider from that standpoint. So,
All right, great. Um, Karima, if you have some question, you can also drop them in the chat if you don't mind. Thank you for being here, by the way. Um, okay, what improvement tend to have the greatest impact on insurability and pricing?
Well, it definitely you're speaking on the Class C's, Class B's, but Class C's. But any roof is critical, so they're always going to look at the roof age, your HVAC system, your plumbing, and your electrical. So those are the four components that that a provider looks at to obviously they'll look at the age and of the building and stuff like that. But those are the four critical components that they look at because there's a lot of mechanical components within those type of things that I just identified. So like chillers, AC units, boilers. Those are mechanical components that again um, a Class C type of property, then they'll look at that. Another thing that they look at is they look at it holistically. So they look at it from a whole. So you might have a Class C, you replace the chiller, but if you haven't replaced all the all the ancillary connections to each of the unit components, then there's still a high risk that that may be a problem. So they look at it holistically. So a whole ecosystem. So those are things really to look at. But again, if you can provide proof that you're working on it, then again, you're presenting yourself as an operator that's very proactive and insurance providers have more leniency to those type of operators from that standpoint. And have are willing to provide competitive pricing to them because they see them as proactive and as possible, recurring clients for them. So you'll have an appetite. They'll have an appetite for those type of operators.
When it comes to the financing part of it, how can investors properly budget for insurance when underwriting a deal? Like, do you have some type of example you could give us as far as, of course, we know each deal is different, each property is different, given the element you just spoke about, depend on the age, um, the asset class, and all those things that are involved. But if all things were equal, what type of example could you give us? So how can someone really right now in this market, let's say I'm getting a property in Texas, how can I properly budget for that?
Well, there's different components to that. So let's say in your example, Ms. Luz, that you have a property that you've had for maybe the last 3 or 4 years. One thing to look at is, have you put in a claim for it? If you put in a claim, it takes 5 years for any your claim loss to come off. So be prepared that that's going to increase your premium, right? Especially if there's a big water loss or a hail damage, whatever may be the case. So expect that to continuous, but if you can show proof that you're doing everything you can, again, operational efficiency. How are you doing that? Because if you can show proof that the property management team that you're working with, they're doing quarterly inspections on your property. Again, you have to show proof, um, to the underwriter or to the providers themselves. Now, if you've had no claims, again, one of the things is with your insurance agent, what I do with my insurance with my clients is I go and I actively shop the market for them, and I always present them at least three quotes for them, very competitive quotes from that standpoint. So if you have an insurance broker that's not at least presenting you two or three renewals or different market types, I would, there's nothing wrong with going and seeing what else is competitive out there. From that standpoint. So being proactive as an operator with your property management team, being proactive in going out to, if you're not getting presented at least two or three renewable quotes by your broker, there's nothing wrong with going out, and seeking out another quote. So those are the kind of things that I recommend my own clients do as well if they're not satisfied and are looking. But again, if if there's claims done, you have to there's that waiting period that you have to wait. But again, there's things to mitigate that as you start to present those to the provider. So I know it's a lot of things I'm saying, but there's a lot of different variables. But again, I think it's important to have communication between the insurance provider, the underwriter, property management team, more importantly with the operator themselves or the syndicators.
So let's say I'm underwriting a deal in Waco, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of be a little central. Um, it's 100 units, but either Waco or San Antonio, those areas. And then, but what I'm trying to get here, when I'm underwriting that deal, what should I dial for when it comes for insurance? Should I put $1,000 per unit, $1,200 per unit, $1,500 per unit? How much should I dial in?
Yeah. So again, if you have no claims, say it's a class B or a class C, but there's been no claims, there've been multiple upgrades. I would say the market right now is competitive between probably like 700 to maybe 750 a door. And that includes property, GL, and excess. I'm seeing the market that's being competitive. I've seen it to where some of them can be more aggressive if they're properties built newer properties, maybe 5 or 10 years old. They can be more aggressive. Class C's, that should be a good range for you from that standpoint, maybe between 700 to 750 a door from that standpoint. Again, if it's in good condition, even a Class C can be in good condition, but you have to show that those proof from that standpoint. So I hope that answers your question.
All right, thank you. Yes, that answered my question. That way my underwriter know what to put down to dial in. So, as far as, okay, looking ahead, what trends do you believe investors should be watching over the next 3 to 5 years?
Ms. Seuss, I can't hear you there. You broke up there.
Okay, what trend do you believe investors should be watching over the next 3 to 5 years?
When you say trend, as far as uh, are you saying about like the trend of what the insurance market is looking
The
at from that
insurance
standpoint?
market gonna be,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
for the
So
future, yeah.
yeah. So honestly, Ms. Seuss, is they're looking. I know I've harped it many times, but operational efficiency. The operator that comes and works with them, they're going to look at how's your team built? How are you providing maintenance to your properties? Is it with a trusted property management team?
Mhm.
Can you provide those type of reports? Are you it's not now, but I've been reading articles that they're looking at also operators that work with property management teams that might be incorporating AI to help at least mitigate, like not mitigate, but create reports that you can present to the providers themselves. So that's something that we're starting to see. I mean, everywhere you see AI, right? But even the insurance providers are saying, hey, what are reports that can be presented to us that would help us from a using the AI standpoint? So I guess I would say from a standpoint of work with property management teams that are looking to maybe streamline and create reports that would help to present to the underwriters themselves. That would be something that would be very key. And again, but operational efficiency is very critical for them. The more you guys can present as operators and syndicators and investors, the more amenable they'll be to working with you guys and coverages.
All right. Thank you. We have 4 minutes. Um, if you could give commercial real estate investor one piece of advice regarding insurance, what would it be?
One piece of advice.
One
Um,
piece of advice.
one piece of advice would be present as much information as you can. Gather as much information as you can. It might be, a strain, but again, we talked about it earlier. The more information you present to your insurance broker and they can present to the lender, or I'm sorry, to the underwriter, that will definitely help create you know, um, they'll be able to look at those as metrics to really understand you as an operator, whether you're a proactive operator or a reactive operator. So data information, the more data you can feed into them, the more I think, and I believe, not I think, I believe you'll have more willing providers willing to work with you and provide you more, competitive quotes that doesn't sacrifice coverages.
That sounds great. Yep. I mean, if you are a real estate investor, those are things you should know if you're a sponsor. But for those aspiring sponsors, GPs, so those are advice they could use. If you were buying a commercial property tomorrow, what insurance related step would be first on your checklist?
Oh, loss runs, 100%. The loss run reports, it's so critical. I can't stress that enough. It is very, very critical to have that because that creates a tone on how to be able to understand how the underwriters will start to think. So loss runs, definitely. Loss runs, statement of value, age of the equipment, I mean, of the building, the equipment, crime, the zip code, hey, is it a crime? Is there high crime in this area? Those are critical things to really look at from that standpoint. And when was the last time, maintenance? So those are definitely the things. But I would always start with loss runs, very much so.
All right. So thank you so much for coming here today to Multifamily on Zoom and help us understand what are the changes in commercial real estate insurance. Well, definitely we'll catch up with you again. Maybe more towards the end of the year to see where things are. And we really, we really appreciate you coming here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Zeus,
Yes.
and everyone. God bless you guys, and thank you again.
Thank you. Have a good
God
one.
bless. Okay, thank
Bye
Yes.
bye.
you.
Bye. Hey guys, this is gonna be a short one. Julio has to run. He has a hard stop. I am myself at a conference right now, in Atlanta, and I just came right here trying to do the meeting real quick because we have not met for the past 2 weeks. So I'm like, I can't do it for a third week. And because people start thinking if they don't see you, they think you're not doing it anymore. I don't think people actually look at the email. They will just log in just by, I guess, by habit. But I don't think they actually read the email to see what topic they're gonna. I think some people do, but I think some people they just log in by habit. Yeah, yeah. So we will meet next week again. And Karima, I'm calling you. I just got home on Thursday, and it's been a nonstop. But I'm calling you this week. I'll give
Okay,
you a call this week. All right.
no worries. Okay,
All right.
all
Thank you,
right.
guys. Have a good one. Thank you
You
so
too.
much.
Blessings. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Good night. Good
Good
night,
night.
Sus.
Good evening. Bye,
Good.
Wilson.
Nice to meet
Thank
you.
you.